What up YouTube, Robob Death Note, back with another how-to video. This time we are going to be soloing the easy element mate. Just to show you how to get it done by yourself. Always easier with other people, but you know me, I solo everything, so. If you can do it solo, it's just easier with other people. Hey, and the way you tell the different difficulties of these things apart here is easy is 10k, medium is 25k, and hard is 50k. So we always bring a spyglass with us when we go to extinction so we can check drop colors and node levels. This is the 10k one, as you can see. I do these nodes while I'm soloing red drops. It's just something to do while if there's no red drops and you're waiting on drops to come down, you got nothing better to do. Why not farm these things up for a bit of element? You can change the element into element dust at the terminals to leave the server. You get 20%, I do believe is what it is. So 100 element will get you 20 stacks of element dust. So the return rate isn't great, but if you're just waiting on drops, might as well get a little free element while you're at it. So we make sure our Metagarbus here is set to follow us and set to the highest following distance so he's not just stuck at our booty the whole time. If you didn't know, following distance just affects the distance that the dino is away from you before it starts following you. Once it starts following you, it's going to run right up in your butt again. But then it stops and it will wait a while before it starts following you again. If it's on low, it's just going to try to follow you every 3 seconds. My Managarmy gets stuck on the tree here. Good idea, just early level here as the wave's starting to knock some of these trees out of your way so you're not getting stuck on them later. We are going to show you the first round of this element node. The first round on red drops and element nodes is usually just a cakewalk. They kind of give you a little bit of time to just send a few small dinos at you, let you get time to get set up for the real waves. The real waves will start on 2, and each wave gets progressively harder. But yeah, we'll just show you the basics here, so you got a feel of what you're looking at if you try to do this by yourself. We'll do round 1, then we'll speed through the other rounds and show you the last most difficult round and the harvesting part to show you how much element you're actually going to get from all this. So guys, this is fairly boring, but if you're watching a how-to video, it's not about excitement, it's about how to learn to actually do something so you know what to expect when you go to do it. Alright, as you see, 10k, we know it's easy, 6 hostiles remaining, it's a fairly easy wave. A good way to spot things if you're fucking blind like me is to look at these nodes. If these nodes look like they have like they're bleeding purple with a bleed effect, that means that there's an enemy biting it. So when you're looking around, you're looking at distance, and you see a way to see which node and where the enemy dinos are. If you're looking for the last 1 or 2 that are just stragglers, like that node right there, you see the purple bleed effect coming off it, I know there's a dino over here. Otherwise, as you can see, they get pretty hidden. Purple dinos mixed with purple nodes, kind of hard to see. Alright, if you guys can bear with me here while I run around and shoot these last few stragglers. It's always the boring part. Kill a dire bear there just to get a little bit of meat and make sure I don't run into him later. They'll need some food. I do believe the stamina regens faster when it has actual meat in its inventory to eat. I mean, you can force feed it too, but just in general, if it has meat and it's eaten on its own, I believe its stamina will recharge just faster on its own. Passively, I guess you would call that. And we kill the last of these little nuisances, and that's the end of round 1. As you can see, this thing is a cakewalk with one of our OP velos. Mind you, that is the first round, and first rounds are always easy. So let's speed it up through the boring next few rounds until we get to the last round here. But as you see with this velo, even the later rounds, pretty much a cakewalk, 1 or 2 shot basically. And then, like I said, I wouldn't recommend just coming over here to get element because, yeah, you only get a 20% return rate. Um, if you have a base on Extinction, a lot of bigger tribes do. It's nice because then you can just use the element to clone stuff and make your tech suits and make your mechs and all your fancy tech stuff over here and bring it back to your home server. So if you have a small crafting base over here, it's always a good idea because then you can just bring metal over from that and use all this free elemental you get from doing these nodes and stuff over here to build what you need to build. But yeah, as you can see guys, not a problem at all here. I'm just running around pegging the little things, trying to eat these outer nodes. Not hard at all. I mean, just literally, you couldn't be any easier on the medium version. And in later videos, we'll get around to editing some of our medium and solo hard element veins, but for now, we had this one ready to go, so we'll pop up the easy one first, just to show you how easy this thing really is to just do solo with one velo. I haven't said something about Slink in this video yet, so Slink, see? It's easy. Don't be scared of Extinction. I'm gonna hear about that later. You know it. Although I think in my Bob v. Bob latest video, I didn't mention you Slink. So it was the first video without a shout out. I forgot the shout out there. Broke the tradition. Rip. Alright, so this is the last of, I believe it's a 4th round of this element wave. It's clearing out the last of these stragglers, and bam. This will be the hardest wave. We'll let this one play in normal mode just so you guys can see clearly and get an idea. Even at the hardest wave, there is nothing to worry about on easy. Like, if you can't do this solo, I don't know what to tell you, man. Get good. It doesn't get any easier than this. And honestly, my Vivo here is OP. I think it sends up at 10k health, 10k stab, and 15k melee. I'm sure somewhere in this video I've pulled up the stats so you can see it. It is an OP Velo. This is official. All my videos are unofficial. I don't go into single player much of any. And I don't play PvE, I don't play private servers. This is all normal rates, normal official when you watch my videos. So anything you guys are seeing here, you can do unofficial. Or is done unofficial, so you know you can do it unofficial. Unlike some other people's videos that be showing you private server and boosted rates. No, all my videos are straight up official. So if I'm doing it here, you can do it too. So as you can see, like I said, cakewalk here. Nothing hard. Some TTs, some Dimorphodons. Stegos and, what is it? Stegos and Raptors seem to be the biggest animals that even come at you. And as you can see with the OP Velo I just read, normal Velos sitting around 400 damage. Could easily solo this too, I would imagine. I'm not going to bother to go grab one of my crap Velos and show y'all, because yeah, it's just going to waste more time. But yeah, I'm fairly sure you can do this with a 300 or 400 Velo. I haven't done it myself, but come on now, why would I pull out a 400 Velo when I got a 1500 Velo? Just gonna take you a little longer to shoot these guys. As you see, most of them don't even aggro on you, so you could do it with a lower level Velo. It would just take more shots. By the way, I use the Velo's quills here, and you can use the Managarma breath too. The quills, like the shooting right there, and the Managarma's breath won't hurt these element nodes. If you're on a different dino, or you use the swipe attack, you will damage the element nodes. The more damage these element nodes take, the less element you're gonna get at the end of your run. So, you always want to use a Velo or a Managarma with its breath attack to kill these ones that are right up on the nodes. Otherwise, you're going to do more damage to the node than Little Corrupted Creature's going to do biting it the next 5 minutes. And that's our element vein complete. Now we get our Mantis out. If you didn't know, Mantises are amazing farmers for stuff like stone. And you give them a pick, farm metal, farm nodes. Mantis can farm up. Give that thing some bats, and it can knock out PvPs and Stego PvP OP all day. Mantis OP. Get some now that you can breed them. They're going to be even more OP here shortly. But as you can see, whack the outer nodes first. Once you break the big middle nodes, all the other outer nodes will disappear. So don't mistake of make the mistake of getting greedy and going straight after the big one in the middle. Any of these smaller ones on the outside that survive the battle, farm those first. Like I said, as soon as you break the big one in the middle, I haven't done it myself, but as far as I know, as soon as you break the one in the middle, you're losing all those outer nodes. You don't get a lot of element, as you can see from these outer nodes, but we're getting some. So, if you keep these outer nodes, break these outer nodes first if you're not lazy, and you'll get an extra 10-20% element out of the total of your run here. I still haven't decided which gets more element, the jumping whack or the just normal whack. The jumping attack does more attack damage, so technically you should harvest more, but I'm still pro Bob and not pro, so to each their own, figure it out for yourself. I'm gonna break it down and actually do the math to figure out which is more. I'll just get it by experience by doing more and more of these nodes. And by the way, guys, I'm pretty sure, if not positive, that this is the first element vein I ever tried to really do. I think I did one right when Extinction came out and just got massacred because I did a hard one and I didn't know what I was doing, and I've stayed away from one since. But yeah, I believe this is the first one I've ever done, so easy solo as you can see. And then boom, the element you get from this, not bad. Now that we got all the outer nodes, it's time to go back and get the big boy. And so you guys can see the grand total at the end. We'll put it all together here and see what we came up with. And now, mind you, this was my first one. I've run probably 10 of these, maybe. That's the medium ones, or easy ones, so maybe 5 of these since then. And you seem to get between 50 and 100 element, depending on how well you protect the node itself. My first one here, I did get 100, but this was the most I got out of any of them. Oh, there you go. That's your how-to. Pro Bob. Go get it done. I'm out.